it's a big month. And I say that every month, but it's actually a really pretty bloody big month this month. It's the month of June. And by the time you're listening to this, it should be the beginning of June, I think. So there's a lot of happening stuff that I'm particularly excited about. There's one game in particular I'm excited about. I'm sure that Matt knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure Harvard knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure that Trent knows what I'm talking about. So we're going to have a bit of a chat about that later on. But Matt, you have the list of the video games.
I do. I don't actually know which one you're talking about because there's a lot. It could be
It's
a lot. It could
there's
be
a one
one of any of
starring a
them.
man with a name.
Yeah.
It's
So
got a
let's.
man and he's a swordsman.
Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Well, we'll
Yeah.
definitely get to that. But
Yeah.
to start with,
Yeah.
PlayStation on the PlayStation this month, starting with June 2. So right at the very start of the month, we have Street Fighter 6 coming out, which I believe is a game that some people will be looking forward to a little bit. And
It's pretty fun. I played the beta. It's good.
teacher.
The series is so weird now because of the beta. I've seen so much content about it. I'm like, hasn't that been out already for months and months? But I guess the official launch of it, right?
Yes, this is the full release and not just beta, and you can pick up a box in your retailer and then bring it home and play the full game. Yep. June 2. Also on June 2, Shantae comes out on PlayStation 5. This is the original,
yeah.
the Game Boy original.
Now you can play a Game Boy Color game on your PS5.
Yeah, which is fully using the power of the console to its max. But the jokes aside, it is actually a very good game. And people forget that. The original Shantae was one of the better Game Boy Color games. And it is nice that it's on other things. So, yeah, there you go. You'll be able to play that on June 2 as well. So another June 2 game. We have We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie, which is going to be great. Who doesn't like We Love Katamari? If you don't, you have no soul.
So that was the one that I played as a child because I didn't have Katamari Damacy because I couldn't find it in Australia. So I played We Loved instead because we had a co-op mode and the co-op mode was so good.
Yes,
it was such a good game.
The little box art here has the two characters, so I assume it is also going to have co-op mode. So that's good.
Yes, get me in there. Sub me in, coach.
Yeah, who doesn't like it? I mean, I know it's that weird, quirky game that never seems to sell well, but deserves to. So who knows? Maybe it can this time. That'd be nice. It'd be nice if it could be finally a commercial hit to go with the fact that everybody that plays it loves it. But yeah, good on Sega for actually backing it forever, even though it never sells well.
Is there a Namco game?
Is it?
It's Namco, yeah. Yeah, it's Namco. Bandai
I
Namco.
apologize to Sega for doing the right thing. You didn't. Bandai did. Good on you, Bandai, for backing.
So screw you, Sega.
Good on you for backing it, Bandai
Sega,
Namco.
you assholes.
So a couple of days later, so we're finally off June 2. We're at June 6. We've got Raiden 3 times Mikado Maniacs, which is a shmup, if you like your shmup.
I love that these are still coming
Name
out.
it normally.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad by Japanese naming convention.
The X is pronounced cross.
Oh, is it? Raiden 3 cross Mikado Maniacs. That's
because it's like a crossover thing. I'm guessing.
So Raiden 3 and Mikado Maniacs. It's not that bad, Alan. You can give this one a pass.
Give it like a solid C.
And
on the Golem 0 out of 5.
on the very, very same day, June 6th, we've got Diablo 4, which I know some people are going to look forward to, I guess. Not really my thing. I mean, I like
have
Diablo
no faith in Blizzard.
Yeah, it's a Blizzard game, and I'm kind of done with Blizzard. They're too naughty for me. But I know there are a lot of people looking forward to Diablo 4, so hopefully that game is for you. Moving on. We have a game called MotoGP 23 coming out on June 8. If you like your motorbike vroom vrooms, then that series has been around forever. So I'm sure that's good, right? If you like your motorbikes.
It might be.
Probably not the right
I've heard they're like okay.
Yeah.
I remember that James Swinbanks was talking about it once on Twitter, and he seemed to like not hate them.
Yeah, he likes his racing games, so if he gives it a thumbs up, then it must be all right.
Yeah.
So then we do have a little bit of a break until June 15.
Christ.
On June 15, we've got Layers of Fear, which is the new Layers of Fear game in that series. I know
So
Alan's
it's
not a
not
fan
like
of
Another
them.
team.
It's not a subtitle. It's just the same title.
It's the same. It's a remake,
Ah,
but
okay.
made by the team that made the medium and also the original Layers of Fear. Therefore, not good.
I thought Layers of
And
Fear
also
was not bad.
it's not scary though. It's sad. It's just not good. It is
Alan
not a scary game.
Alan and I have divergent opinions on this one. I quite like Layers of Fear, I must admit.
It's their only okay game. All the other games are garbage, hot garbage. The Blair Witch Project, awful.
Yeah,
One
I
of the
didn't
worst
love the
things I've
Blair Witch
played in my
Project.
life.
Wasn't terrible. I
It's
didn't
so
love it.
disappointing. No, it was pretty bad.
They gave you a dog.
I have zero faith in Silent
They
Hill
gave
2.
you a dog.
They gave you a
Yeah,
dog and then
Alan.
took the
Alan
dog
must.
away and told you to fuck off and die.
You must be really miserable, Alan, that they're the ones doing the Silent Hill 2 remake.
No, you have no idea. I was like, Silent Hill 2, whoa! And Bloober Team appeared on the fucking screen. And I've never gone from like erect to flaccid as quick in my life.
It's your Frogoat meme again.
Yeah, it's literally the Frogoat meme. The Frogoat is also ghost. Bloober Team's making it.
You know, the only Silent Hill remake we need is Shattered Memories. Remake.
No, I agree with you. That's a banger of a game. That deserves a
Yeah.
remake.
What else is coming in June?
Yep.
Oh, yes, I've got to do more of these. On June 16, we got F1
Thanks for
23.
being the Rock.
Harvard keeps us on track. Yeah, F1 23,
Yeah.
June 16, which is the latest in the F1 series, of course. Codemasters, they're pretty reliable. And to be honest, I'm actually quite looking forward to it this year because this year's one should have the new Las Vegas circuit. And
Ooh.
Las Vegas is, like I said, it's new. It's this year's the first time they've done it. And it's actually a street race, actually on the
That's
strip.
really cool.
Wait,
So
what? Like F1 cars just on the street.
Yeah. That's happened for ages, Harvey. You must
Oh,
not follow F1.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
No.
there's quite a few street races now. It started with Singapore, I think, about a half decade ago. So Singapore's
No,
one.
Adelaide used to have it on the streets as well when
they?
Adelaide had the F1.
Did
Yeah,
they?
back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It was
it's
what we had
become
before the V8 supercars in Adelaide.
yeah, it's become a pretty mainstream, or it's not a lot of tracks now. Rather than build a dedicated track, they just do it on part of the city for a bit. Singapore's one because it's takes place at night. They don't have room to build a track, so they do a street race. And yeah, Las Vegas is going to be a street race on the strip. So with Codemasters and EA's money behind it, that should be a pretty cool track. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. Visually, it should be cool. On June 16, same day, very different type of game. We've got Park Beyond. If you like your roller coaster tycoon, Park Beyond is the new one. And I've played it in preview form, and it is pretty good. I enjoyed it. Making coasters in it is quite fun and easy. And yeah, it's a theme park builder.
Oh, yeah. I'm loving that that's becoming a resurging genre.
Yeah, who doesn't like a good theme park builder? This it should be good, I think. On June 20, we've got Crash Team Rumble, which is a 4x4 team-based competition. I don't know much about it because I don't really follow Crash, but I imagine there are
It's
people there
Mario
that are looking
Party.
forward to.
Oh, it's Mario. I was gonna say it was Smash, but if it's Mario Party.
It's a
Yeah, but
board
like
game?
it's probably gonna be crap in all honesty. It's like, did you ever play Crash Boom Bang?
No.
Or fucking
No.
Crash on the PS1 that was made by not Naughty Dog. It was the shitty party game. It's probably gonna be that. I have
Right.
zero interest in this game. Anyone who has any taste has zero interest in that game.
Okay. I'll
You know
take
what I
the
mean?
word for it. There you go. So don't
It's a
look
game
forward
that
to
you
that
get from
one,
Target.
Alan. Don't look forward to that one. Alan has spoken.
Yeah, no one's allowed to have fun anymore.
On June 20, so on the same day, if you don't want to pick up that thing, on the same day you can pick up Aliens Dark Descent. Is that a new Aliens or is that a remake or something?
Yeah, it's a top-down strategy game, I believe.
What?
Right. I'm
Where you play as a
interested
clone
now.
Marine. Yeah.
I'm much more interested
Okay,
if
it looks
that's a
pretty
top-down
neat.
strategy game. Yeah, that's all right.
I think it might be like a real-time. Like if you ever played like Frozen Synapse, I think it's meant to be kind of like that.
Oh.
That's
I
pretty
think.
cool.
Which, yeah. there's enough stuff behind it that I'm kind of like more and more interested as I look at it. But yeah,
I like this
Yeah.
trend
It
of
looks
making
pretty
licensed
neat.
games that are like not your standard third-person shooter adventure kind of game, but actually exploring different styles of development. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a real-time strategy, squad-based thing. And in all honesty, Aliens as a genre, as a franchise, has been knocking it out of the park recently because the Alien game that came out, that was the three-player Left 4 Dead sort of horde mode game, was phenomenally fun and such a good like budget title. So I don't know what's going on with the Aliens license, but hell yeah, I'm here for it. Make more of it, please.
Cool. On June 22, there's a little game some people might have heard about called Final Fantasy XVI XVI.
Yes,
So I believe some
I'm
people
so
might
down.
enjoy this game. Um,
Not me.
I suspect it would be better than Golem. That's just my prediction. I'm putting it out there. That's my big bet. It's better than Golem.
Still gonna spit in your face.
And how upset am I going to be if it's worse than Golem? Yeah, I love Final Fantasy. Always have. It's been one of those games that's been with me as long as I've been gaming. So it's had its ups and downs as a series, but this one looks neat. I've deliberately kept myself on like a blackout. I haven't read any previews. I haven't seen any of the video footage. I haven't read the interviews. I know very little about this game going in because I want to be surprised and delighted by it. So I'm hoping I will be.
It's crazy how many old ass franchises are coming out. Because we just had Street Fighter, we just had Zelda, Katamari, Raiden, Diablo, Crash, and now Final Fantasy. These are like old school franchises getting new things.
This is like
Yeah.
a summer in 1998.
Take me back.
It costs less money than making new games.
Yeah.
Another one,
It's also
another old
safer, I'd say.
franchise, another old franchise that's getting a new release in June. June 27, we've got Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. Actually, technically not a new game,
Ooh.
that's a remake. But
This is the sad one, right?
Remake of the best Harvest Moon game.
A Wonderful
the
Life
sad
is
one.
isn't A Wonderful Life the one where you got 3 years to save the farm, or
It's not
Or you die.
a theme park comes in and throws you out?
No, that's like, I don't know. I think that's one of the others. But in this one, you basically get the farm from some old guy, and then you like live your life. You get married, you have some children, and then you're like suddenly like a gazillion years old, and you realize you're just gonna walk into the fog and die, and that's your life done.
Yeah, that's the sad one.
It's a
Isn't that
wonderful
what-
life.
Isn't that what you want out of a Harvest Moon game? To die of old age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than you
You
think, in
can
honesty.
turn on long life mode and not have to like, die, but that's the point of a game. The point of a game is to have a complete life, a wonderful life.
Well, I mean,
Harvest Moon life.
A Wonderful Life, I obviously don't remember playing it because I could have sworn it was the one where you had 3 years before a theme park came in. I'm going to have to figure out which Harvest Moon that is now. But I know A Wonderful Life is well regarded as this series goes. So a remake of it should be a good time. In the meantime, if you do want to catch up on your Harvest Moons, I didn't realize this. If you've got a PlayStation Plus subscription, they just dumped like all of them on PlayStation Plus. So you can play like 4 Harvest Moons and Rune Victories at the moment on there.
I really want to
pretty
play
cool.
Back to
Subscription.
Nature. Apparently, Back to Nature was well regarded, and then A Wonderful Life and Friends of Muriel Town came out. So
Hey.
everyone's like, yeah, like so. Back to Nature was like the original OG. So, like, I mean, it's not the original Harvest Moon, but it was like well respected. So, yeah.
Okay.
Too many friends.
Moving on. So many Harvest Moon games. It's good that the series keeps going. Anyway, moving on. June 29. This one's not really for me, but I do know that there are some people who are watching it closely and have high hopes for it. AEW Fight Forever, which is a wrestling
good.
fighting game. But the thing that makes it noteworthy is Yuke's is creating it. And Yuke's is the Japanese developer that is well known for making a lot of really good wrestling games. before they
And
got
then being
dumped
driven
by
into the
2K.
ground.
Yeah, they got dumped by
Yeah.
2K, and people were unhappy about that. But obviously, they've come back and decided to do their own thing with a different license, a different wrestling license. I don't know which one AEW is, but that is happening.
It's AEW.
Yeah,
That's the brand.
yeah, I know that's the brand. I don't know what that type of wrestling is. Is that like extreme wrestling or
That's-
something?
No,
Is that the
it's
one with
just
the barbed
regular.
wire?
It's WWE, but without bloody Vince McMahon being a
Oh,
pedo.
so that's better immediately.
Yeah. They're also going to have a sub story where Vince McMahon sends his American character out to the Mexican border to deport illegals because he's having a feud with Rey Mysterio.
Right, gotcha.
That was a real side story, so that's why you shouldn't support WWE. Anyway,
And then rounding out the month on June 30, much kind of lower tier game, I guess, but might be worth it to some people. There's a game called Spells and Secrets coming out, which is a game where you play a first-year student of the magic arts arriving at the Academy of Griefenstein. Anyway, if Harry Potter was a little bit too turfy for you, then maybe this is an alternative
I was going to
since
say
it
this is like
sounds like it's
not
pretty
Harry
much
Potter.
yeah, it sounds like pretty much the same concept minus J.K. Rowling. So there you go. That comes out on June 30. And that is it for the PlayStation. Yeah. Moving on to the Switch. God, this is going to be a lot of scrolling. I'm still scrolling through May. Here we go. We're at June now. We've got Hidden Bunny coming out on June 1.
Yay.
Bunnies. I don't know anything about that game, but it's
Likes
just bunnies. Here we go. So the first game of note comes out on Switch on June 1, which is the Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection, which is 3 dungeon crawlers from the DS era that have been remade for the Switch. And if you like your dungeon crawlers, you probably already know what Etrian Odyssey is, and you probably already convinced yourself to buy it. So that's a lot of gaming. It's a lot of gaming.
Those are the first person ones, right?
Yeah, where
Where
you
you make
draw
a
the map.
yeah. Probably the best
Yeah.
first-person dungeon crawler series of recent memory.
They're in all seriousness, they're the ones that actually brought the dungeon crawler back. So the dungeon crawler's always been around, like it's been since the 80s and Wizardry, but it did have a huge lull, a decade or so ago. But then Etrian Odyssey came out on the DS and just kind of blew everybody away, and people got back into dungeon crawlers because of that, and now we get a lot of them. So Etrian Odyssey was kind of the one that brought the genre back from the dead. And they are good games. They are very, very good games. As to whether it works on the Switch, where you don't have the touchscreen to draw the map, you'll have to wait for my review for that. I am playing them now. I have got them. And I will be reviewing them in time for the launch. We also have on June 2, Super Mega Baseball 4 coming out on Switch, which is the place I'm going to. That's where I'm going to play Super Mega Baseball 4, not on the consoles, because I want to have it on the go. It is a very on the go kind of baseball game. And yeah, I can't
What a
wait.
great game series. What a
Yeah,
series.
I really enjoyed Super Mega Baseball 3. Unfortunately, the developer has been bought by EA, and who knows what that's going to do to it. But I've got my fingers crossed that it's just kind of building on what was already great about the third one.
Oh, it's such a good even if you don't like baseball, that series owns.
Yeah. Kitten Island comes out on June 3, which is good just by the name. I don't know anything about it, but it's an island with kittens. So here you go.
Cute.
Raiden 3 Cross Mikado Maniacs does come out on Switch as well on June 6th, so you can play it on there if you prefer.
Oh, that's a
I'm not
great name.
certain.
No, I love that name.
I'm not certain if it's cross anymore. I googled it. Maybe it's just X. Who knows anymore?
Loop
It's
8.
so much confidence, Harvard. It's been absolutely diluted by Japan's naming system.
Yeah, for what you know, it could be pronounced key, like in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, shut up. I forgot about that. Why would you
On
Oh, no.
on June 6, Loop 8 Summer of Gods comes out, which is a RPG that I need to know more about. It's a kind of everyday life RPG. So it's set in the kind of the real world as such, I think. But yeah, it's been published by Marvelous. It does actually look quite good from the screenshots. I just don't know that much about it as yet because I haven't really looked into it, but I will be playing it, I'm sure, because it is an RPG and yeah, it has pretty art. So there you go. Loop 8, Summer of Gods on June 6th. On June 8, we've got Demon Souls Incubus. Demon Sword.
I was so excited until you
was gonna
said
say,
the last
what?
word.
Demon Sword Incubus coming out on June 8 on Switch, which is definitely not an Alan game. It's a game where
Is it horny?
yeah, it's horny. Clothes
It's
get
an
ripped and
incubus.
stuff. Clothes get ripped, Alan. It's actually made a
God.
bullet point of it that it has like a clothes destruction system and
You know
stuff.
what? This is a bit of a tangent. I'm really sorry. It's a bit of a tangent, but I was thinking about this game the other day. You know how in the third birthday, how Aya Bria would have her like jeans and her clothes ripped, but then her boots would be perfectly intact, so she still was like able to step on people. What a game! I've never seen
That is a weird thing to randomly think about, Alan.
franchise.
Yeah, that is a weird
I
thing to
just think
think
about
about.
Aya Bria regularly.
Okay,
I wish
fair
that
enough.
game
Yeah.
was made by humans, and I wish
Release
that like,
Parasite,
the
release Parasite Eve
Eve,
1 in Australia, you
yeah,
cowards.
literally, release it anywhere. Just make it again. Make that game, please. Give it to me.
It's weird. This is a very significant digression, but on the stats for the digitally downloaded website, we actually do get a lot of traffic for Parasite Eve because I wrote an article about it quite a while ago. And it obviously does well with the Google SEO and it ranks highly. And because of that, we do get a lot of traffic. There are a lot of people searching for Parasite Eve still. It is a game
It's
that
full as hell.
Because they should re-release it.
yeah, people have fond memories about this game, and Square Enix should probably pay attention and do something about that because, yeah, it
I
would
think
be
they're
good.
just very slow, but they'll get there. Like Square Enix is going through what, like Live Alive? We're gonna get it.
Remember how they trademarked something that everybody thought was going to be a Parasite Eve, and then it turned out to be just an NFT collection?
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, that was a good
the
move by Square
best.
Enix. Yeah, really, really classy of them.
And then they sold, all of Eidos's materials to go into NFTs, and then
Yeah.
the NFT market collapsed.
Well,
Like they bought some magic
Uh,
beans.
Literally, they bought magic beans and they turned out to be just ketamine.
They probably still got most of the cash from that sale, so they'll just deploy it somewhere else now. Moving on.
Yeah.
On June 9, there's a game called Avia Corporation coming out, which doesn't sound like much, but I'm actually quite intrigued by it because it's an airline management simulation. So you start up an airline, you kind of find airports around the world to set up in, and then you create flight routes and need to make a sustainable business.
It's fun.
Yeah, I actually played one of those on my phone a long time ago and really enjoyed it because it is fundamentally interesting to create an airline business and try and compete with Qantas and whatever. So yeah, it's I'm actually genuinely looking forward to this. And
I wonder if it has built-in government bailouts. And then you can use all your
Stop!
money.
I was going to make the same joke. Trent, you're a genius.
And then you can have record profits the year after COVID's over. You know, just saying.
Okay. This is also a bit of a digression as well. My parents were trying to come over to the old UK to see me after 4 years. This was about 5 months ago. They're looking at flights, and it's going to cost them over 5,000 Australian dollars per person to fly from Adelaide to the UK. It's now gone down to 1.2 grand per person because Qantas has competition now. And it's so hilarious. Qantas is evil. What a horribly evil corporation.
They really are. They really are.
Just cartoonishly evil. Anyway, Qantas sucks. Matt, what's coming out next?
Yes. June 15. This is a game that is very much for me. It's called Jack Jean, which is a visual novel, but it's about theater and ballet and opera.
How do you spell
And
that?
JACKJEANNE. So you actually play as a girl that got accepted into college for performing arts, but the twist is it's a boys only college, so she needs to pretend that she's a guy, and yeah, through that she interacts with all the other guys and learns how to be a performer, and it's kind of got that mix of otome and performing arts as a theme. So it's got a really lovely art style, and I'm quite digging it so far. I can't say too much about it. I've been playing it a bit, but yeah, it's obviously very niche. But if you do like your performing arts and you do like your higher arts like opera and ballet and stuff, then this is pretty much the only game that you've had in quite some time to look forward to.
This is like the soft and warm otome game, and not the everyone gets murdered by the mafia otome game, right?
Yes, that is correct,
Sorry,
Harvard.
I need to explain something that's going on in my head right now, because every time you say otome, I think you're saying omatome. So imagine those little guys who scream when you like squeeze their sides and you like pull like little like neck thing. I'm
That
imagining that
instrument.
being murdered by the mafia. I really want that. Yeah. I don't know why that's like tickling me so much, but I love it.
Maybe it's an ending and Matt
Really.
just hasn't gone yet. You know, you fail.
Yeah,
at
we don't
performing
know.
arts
We-
school, and then you all get murdered by the mafia.
we don't know if people die just yet, Harvard, but
Okay.
in theory, this is the nice version of the otome rather than the typical otome that gets released in the West. So there are three types of otome that get released in the West. There is the historical ones, which are fairly common, and they generally are kind of a mix of real history and the otome romance stuff and whatever.
Like
Then-
Hakuoki and stuff.
Yeah. Then there's the, for some reason, shockingly violent, brutal, horrific visual novels, which you go in expecting it to be romance because that's what it's meant to be, but then you get the bad ending and like you've become some kind of half mutilated prisoner in some dungeon, and it goes really dark places. That's quite common, those otomes. And then there's the very rare nice one, which is just a story about people, and this one is that.
Strange genre.
It is a very strange genre.
They're
but
very daring of them.
But once you get into it, it is a fascinating genre. I do love otome. Moving on, June 15, we've got Birdie Wing Golf Girls story coming out, which is, yeah, it's anime girls plus golf. What?
I got so excited thinking it was about birds.
But it was just me, anime girls.
Yeah, this is golf going.
No, it's not.
I don't know. Japan's great. What a wonderful country. The frogate is also cursed once again.
On June 22, we've got Valtharian Arc 2, Hero School Story 2. It was the first one was decent enough, and if you liked it, then you're probably going to look forward to the second one. I'm not going to go too deep into it. It's a confusing one. On June 27, we got Charade Maniacs coming out, which is another otome game. I believe this one's a comedic one. And it's, yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I do know that it is an Idea Factory one, so it's going to have really nice art, and I'm pretty sure it is a comedic one here. On June 27, Story of Seasons comes out on Switch as well. On June 29, AEW Fight Forever comes out as well. And I think we're getting close to the end here with the Switch. Nope, we've got one big one coming out on June 30, which is Master Detectives Archives Rain Code. That's the latest by Spike Chunsoft. So if you like the likes of AI, Somnium Files, and Danganronpa, and Virtue's Last Reward, we're talking about a game in that kind of ballpark. So that's going to be good. Sorry?
Those are very good games.
Yes, they're very good games. And that one I'm very much looking forward to. Go and check out some trailers and whatever. The art in it is exceptional, and the premise of it is going to be dark and clever, I'm sure. So that's definitely worth looking forward to. Also on June 30, we've got Ghost Trick coming out finally. That was a DS
Wow.
classic, and now it's finally
That is a
getting
good game.
Switch. Yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back on Switch. So good on them.
I'm waiting for the Froget is also cursed moment.
And then
What's the evil part?
and then finally, oh no, that's on July, so we'll be talking about that next month. So that's it. That's the full list of games. That's a lot of games. So we're
There's
running
no
out.
big Nintendo game in June.
No,
Everyone's still
Nintendo.
playing Zelda.
Yeah, Nintendo obviously expected Tears of the Kingdoms to last it for a
I
full
mean, it
month
is.
ahead. So
Yeah, because Pikmin's July, isn't it?
yeah, Nintendo's not releasing anything at all in June.
Hmm.
They don't need to. They made their money for the year. So anyway, Alan,
They legitimately don't need to.
pick one game.
I mean, it's gonna be Final Fantasy. I'm so excited. I pre-ordered it. I got paid yesterday, so I
Oh,
pre-ordered
nice.
it. I'm excited.
We will be talking
I'm
about it.
so into it.
We would definitely be
yes, we
talking
will
about it a
be.
lot, I'm sure, Alan. Excellent. Harvard,
Yeah.
pick one game.
Everything looks great. This is rare, but I'm having a hard time choosing. I'm probably gonna go for Etrian Odyssey because those are very good games, and it's a great balance between something that you can actually just pick up and play and make some progress on, but also if you want to just hunker down for a real session, it will support you for that too. It's a really good series.
You'll basically disappear for 3 or 4 weeks, Harvard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have an irrational fear of the letters FOE for the next couple of months.
Those are all like 50-hour games at least. So there you go. You can enjoy losing your entire month to that. They are very good games. Very, very good games. Definitely worth replay or play for the first time if you haven't. Trent, pick one game.
I didn't know about all those like RPG things like Loop and stuff like that. So now I'm thinking of changing my answer from Story of Seasons, but it'll be probably one of those three. Probably let's go with Story of Seasons.
Story of Seasons? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are always reliable. Well, the Story of Seasons ones are. The Harvest Moon ones
not
are.
anymore.
No, Harvest Moon is not so
Yes.
reliable, but Story of Seasons is.
Cool.
I love that Harvest Moon is now just like a trap series that only people who don't know the company will buy.
Yeah.
I like how there's always on Twitter
That's the
people
Froget is
which
also
are like people which are like, oh, I like love Harvest Moon series. I'm like, did you get like roped into like remembering like that Harvest Moon was like what they were called like 20 years ago, and like I'm gonna buy the latest one. What's this Story of Seasons? Some kind of weird knockoff series, and then you get like some RPG mobile style game, and they're disappointed.
Yep. Definitely. The people get caught out by that story. So quickly for people who maybe haven't heard of it yet, who haven't heard the story yet, Harvest Moon, it used to be called Harvest Moon in the West. It's always been called the equivalent of Story of Seasons in Japan, but due to licensing, they had to change the Harvest Moon series to Story of Seasons in the West. There is a company that still owns the Harvest Moon license in the West, so they've made a new series of games which are basically the same concept, but they're not from the Story of Seasons or Harvest Moon developer's name. The Harvest Moon developer. So as a result, we've got this series with the Harvest Moon on the box, which is not Harvest Moon. And then we've got Story of Seasons, which is Harvest Moon, which is just wonderfully confusing for people who are not deep into that series.
Don't you just love IP capitalism?
Yeah, it's just great.
It
So anyway,
rocks.
if you ever see Harvest Moon on the box, probably don't buy it because
I think
that
they're
is
starting
not
to
what.
review a little bit better, but like, yeah, definitely when they first the license first split like that, it was like definitely trash developer kind of stuff. So,
Yeah, it's not what you think you're probably buying. But if you see Story of Seasons on the box, buy it because it is Harvest Moon. And then I'm definitely going Final Fantasy as well. That's my game of the month. I'm hoping. I mean, like I said, I've been playing Final Fantasy for about 35 odd years, and it is a series that
It's like
means
9
a
years
lot
longer
to-
than I've been alive.
Yeah. I've been with
It's
Final
a-
Fantasy from right at the start, and it is a series that means a lot to me. So I am desperately hoping that this game.
what's the gimmick for this one?
It's
There's
real
no-
time.
It's Game of Thrones.
There's
yeah,
no
it's like
Game of
classic
Thrones.
fantasy. Classic
Yeah,
fantasy.
it's a very, I think it's going to be quite dark compared to, well, I mean, Final Fantasy always has its dark side, but I think this one is quite mature ages Final Fantasy.
It's more tactics-esque in terms of tone, from what
Yeah.
I've gathered,
And the
which
director
I
of
think is
it,
the best thing they could have done.
the director of it is the guy that directed The Last Remnant, which was a very dark RPG itself. So, yeah.
The cutscene director is also the cutscene director from FF12, which makes me very excited.
Does it have the
because
same
What was
those
the
ru-
cutscenes
one where they
banged.
went on the road trip, right? No, 13
No.
That was
15.
15.
That's
Does it
good.
have does it have the same writer as Final Fantasy the 7 remake and Origins?
I don't think so.
Stranger of Paradise? Is it the
They're
same
just
writer?
drafting a dream team here. Go to Square Enix.
They
and being
gotta
like,
get that guy.
You
Literally.
make a game for us.
they gotta
Can we
get
keep-
that guy onto
Can
it.
we keep bloody Nomura away from this game?
Yeah, Nomura, you on the bench.
Yeah, Nomura's
Nomura,
not
you
in.
can go sit and Nomura draw as many belts in this piece of paper
Well,
as you can.
he's the
It's
artist, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nomura's the
Just
artist, isn't
promote
he?
whoever came up with the snowball scene for Tactics Advance and make a good game for Final Fantasy. Done.
I'm pretty sure Nomura's the artist, isn't he? He's
I'm
on the
looking
art
up right
team.
now. Yoshi P. Hiroshi Takai is the director. Kazutoyo Maehiro is the original screenplay, and he did Vagrant Story and FFT.
That's right. He's a good. Yeah, he knows his stuff too.
Hiroshi Minagawa is the art director. He did
Oh,
Tactics Ogre.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, the game
Yeah,
does the
which
art
makes
is great.
sense.
Yeah. You even from the
And then,
limited amount I've seen, the game does look good. So, yeah.
yeah. And then it's Ryoto Suzuki who did the combat, and they are a legend because they are the Devil May Cry
Yeah, that's
Uh,
right. He's the Devil May Cry.
5 combat.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is definitely going to be much more
Yeah.
action this time around. Like it
I'm
is
so
definitely
excited.
it's going to be a
I
fast-paced
cannot
action
wait.
game. So, yeah. Fingers crossed it is good.
And Soken is doing the music as well. And he did Dragon Guard too.